I think my first piece of advice would be, you, as a parent, you are your child's first teacher. I may be your child's teacher this year, but you will have your child for life. Have that in your heart and your head as you're that subject matter expert of your student. Hold on to that confidence and take that with you in every place that you go, in every education portal that you travel.
We have teenagers as well as young children. I think the biggest challenge when you have young kids in school is laying a foundation for them. The biggest challenge with the high school kids is ensuring that they get credits for certain classes, because when you're constantly transferring to new school districts, it presents a great big challenge as to whether or not they're eligible for graduation.
One thing that I think it's really important to think about is that the mobile military child's needs are related to the frequency of how they move. But kids are kids first. And the needs of kindergartners and third graders and eighth graders and 11th graders are the same for all of our students. And we just want to be able to do that for students who are mobile.
When he started his first day of school, he was terrified, social anxiety. And we really lucked out because the kindergarten teacher that we got for him was amazing. She let me stay in class with him for the first 2 to 3 days. I mean, they're so used to their friends and their teacher and their structure. And, by the time summer rolls around, they understand, hey, I'm gonna get a new teacher, a new class, new set of friends.
For elementary kids, it's families seem to have to deal with finding the right fit for the classroom teacher. Students making friends is very big and very, very important. And getting to know and understand how the education system where they've just moved to works. For secondary students, it sounds the same, but it feels different, I think, for them. It's not just about making friends, it's about fitting in. It's about being an outsider.
We're trying to recreate that sense of community every 2 years. That's what it really feels like. You don't know how the next location is going to compare academically to the location you're leaving. So you're never sure if your children are going to arrive ahead of where they should be or right where they should be, or they're going to be behind. We typically look at schools and then decide where we're going to live.
The differences in education from one region to another, one state to another, it's very disheartening that, she's doing so well and then we get here and she's doing not great. She's still doing great, but she's not at that level that she should be compared to her peers in another location.
When the whole decision came back with holding her back in 5th grade, the teachers asked us, it was our decision in the long run, and we decided to hold her back because we didn't want to see her struggle even more than she had to.
I feel like sometimes teachers will tell you, well, I don't see that in your child. And whatever it is, whether it's something you're worried about or something they're like, no, you could be doing more with, they need more, they need more. We know our child and we know them the best. And so that's challenging in itself, but really being an advocate for your child and staying true to what you know who they are.
It's a full-time job.
And so that's why we're hoping that this next one will be a longer duration, because the amount of time that we spend researching and everything takes away from also our current living and what we could be doing.
It definitely is hard. Having my daughter now face, okay, am I gonna graduate? Am I not gonna graduate? Literally, we're waiting until March for Nia's college credit classes. That's when they're gonna look at that and decide, oh, maybe if she can graduate. So she's 3 months from graduation and doesn't know if she's gonna graduate high school or not because she's moved so much.
I know my daughter's strong. I know she can make friends. I know it's hard for her to make friends, but I know she would. It's the academic and trying to keep her up on par with all the other kids and not fall behind.
It's pretty difficult because, of course, you always want the best.
In elementary school, it was easier because you're younger, but for middle school and up, I guess it's harder to make friends, especially since I'm moving, like when I first made new friends at 6th grade in middle school, and now I'm moving to another middle school.
This one especially, we've let her look at the different high schools in the area that we're looking at, so she's been somewhat part of this process, whereas before we sort of shielded her from it, but now it's her high school experience, her last 2 years of high school, and we're letting her at least get a window into what we're looking at.
They have a voice and they have an interest and they are investing in their education and they are an active participant.
Well, I'm still not completely sure what I'm looking for exactly, but I guess the test scores, the kind of courses that they offer, and credit transferring process.
I feel like if there was some sort of like a continuity with curriculum across the board, especially like I said, when the kids are younger, it varies from state to state to state.
The standards should be straight across the board throughout the whole country, not just in one place being higher than the other.
These are kids first. You know, they're preschoolers and elementary students and middle school and high school, and they're kids, and development is development. So on the one hand, it shouldn't be that hard, but on the other hand, when you're watching your students really try to find their way, and all you want is the best for your student, there's a lot to the pie now to keep not only track of each student in your family's interests, but how each school system works, and to really stay in sequence when you may end up in 5 different school systems is a full-time job. It's a lot to keep track of.